All right, we'll stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
We're gonna go ahead and start with the consent agenda.
Where the desk isn't updated out of district, we have some more kiddos from Kyla going other places, so it's just updated. And then also I sent an updated warrant list.
Yep.
Okay.
So any questions on the minutes from our last meeting? The warrants, which are our school expenses. The transportation contract just is what it is. It's like, there was one, they're allowed to, about a trillion. Did you just mention that one was still here?
At first payroll, the benefit was coded to the wrong line item.
And then we just acknowledge that we have students that are going from Kyla to other schools.
Yes.
There are no questions. I would take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
A motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are moving on to reports and recognition, student report, student leadership team.
Drum roll, Wyatt made it. Everyone's at football practice or volleyball tournaments.
Where?
So
Hi, I'm Wyatt Doriga. I'm an eighth grader here and I'm part of the leadership team. So I just brought you a volleyball recap and a recap of the last month we've had. So our volleyball recap, we have a 5-6 team, we have a 7-8 team. There are eight fifth graders and 6 sixth graders. And for our 7-8 team, we have 4 7th graders and 8 8th graders. And so 5-6 team had a great season where they had 10 wins and 1 losses. 7-8, they fought really hard. They only had 1 win and 10 losses, sadly. American Indian Heritage Day. Oh my. This is the first leadership hosted event of the year. We taught lessons through kindergarten to 5th, and everybody had fun when we did that. We learned a lot and kids enjoyed it too. So our next event, which is our fall middle school dance, and we are starting to begin our work on the yearbook.
Terrific, cool.
Right.
That's all I got today.
Any board questions for what?
I just want to say I like these updates.
I do say that's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wyatt. And you did a great job.
I'm taking them out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we are moving on to our guest comment section.
Good job, buddy.
Members of the public are encouraged to comment during this time regarding items not listed on the agenda. The chair will seek public comments on agenda items as they occur. By law, the board cannot take action on matters discussed during the public comment portion of the meeting, but may include a matter raised during this time on a future agenda. Board would like to remind everyone to avoid commenting on private personnel matters, private student matters, and pending legal matters. Nada. Matt, you got anything you want to throw on? Nope, okay, no public comments at this time. Let's move on to our action items. Action item A is consideration of a out-of-district student to Kyla. Do you want to discuss?
Yes, please. So this is an extraordinary situation. We have 20 in our kindergarten. At the time of you approving the 3 out of districts that brought us to 18. This student was one of those 15 that was originally registered as an in-district student. We sent home the first day of school packets. One has your current address on it, make changes. It came back with an address that's actually in the Marion School District. So before school started, but after you had approved out of districts, this family had moved and not informed the school of an updated address until after the school year had started.
So the kid is attending school here.
The kid had gone to school here for the first half of trimester one, essentially. We are at 20, so if we got another student, we would be technically over. So this consideration, in my mind, is different than somebody whose family moves now, which will be a topic for next month's board meeting. I would like to go over our procedures for that. Just for transparency in our public meetings, but this circumstance is separate from that. I don't think this family was trying to hide anything. I think that people just are registered and they're gonna go where they're gonna go, and the nuances of out of district, in district is not thought of really. We're just signed up and we're ready to go, and here we go. So the other piece to this, when on the actual out of district agreement, when I write administration recommendation, yes or no, I'm not looking at enrollments for those. So this is multifaceted explanation or discussion for you. For me, that section is I've reviewed their attendance and discipline, behavioral, anything from their previous district, and it is my recommendation on them as a student, not our current size of class. So that's something for you to consider. This would have been then our fourth out of district student. So technically, if we backed all the way up, they would have told us they moved and filled out this out of district attendance agreement before the school year started. We would have been at 14 and accepted all four. Because the two that ended up making us to 20 came in even after that.
And the two that came in are in districts.
Correct. At this point, we're at 20. So this new out of district, if you're to strictly follow by the book, we're over and would be out of alignment with our strategic plan. There's a lot of information.
My first question is what happens next year? As this student is now out of district. So if I assume you're asking us to vote whether to approve to keep this child in our school or.
I'm not asking, that's what the state's requiring with these SB 4.
I'm sorry, yeah, semantics, sorry.
And so before the board is simply whether or not to approve an out of district attendance agreement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's technically outside of our strategic plan, but the child was registered before they moved to Marion. And now they're currently attending our school. And so if we don't approve it, in my mind, we're basically ripping a child out of the school and they have to go into a new curriculum. But
And that's correct, and that's what I want to bring up at our next meeting is these mid-year,
right,
if a family moves mid-year. This family moved before the school year started,
right. We
so,
just didn't know about it.
right.
Okay.
That's where this is different, a different line of thinking than what we talk about the next time we talk about this.
So if we say yes today, the student stays in school, we're at 20, we're in danger of needing extra classroom support.
Correct.
If we get another in district. But then next year they have to fill out an out of district to continue to attend Kyla and they may get declined, so they may be required to go to Marion as an in district or find another school.
Correct.
So I guess that's what I'm reading from what you're saying.
I think from my point of view, the moment we find out we have an out of district student that has not filled out a form, that student needs to immediately be advised to attend their district of residency. And then this comes before the board in a manner of, we have an application, we don't have a student that's been attending our school this long. So that's where I'm seeing the big procedural issue. I think whenever this was discovered, if it was the second day of school or the 4 days in, that student should have immediately been told to enroll in their district of residency. I think the only reason it's an issue is because it's drug on.
When all month in the school. Halfway through the first trimester, roughly, and
Well, first day of school packets go home on the 2nd of September. Had we have gotten this information before September 10th board meeting, we would have brought that to the board. So beyond what you are talking about, Amanda, somewhere between September 11th and now is when they returned their back to school paperwork.
Yep, and I would like to see that at that moment, a phone call is made and the parents are told like, so.
But what if our class is not full or above our strategic plan cutoff?
Sure, but that's actually not our issue. Our issue is we're completely at. If we go by the strategic plan, the students, this out attendance agreement would be denied.
Mhm.
So that's why I think that should occur.
Sure. So just to clarify, in the future, a family moves to out of district, we're at the threshold or above. That would be what our next move. If we're not, they would come to the board for an FP 14 approval.
Obviously, open for discussion, just one board member's thought.
Yeah.
So before the board is whether or not to approve an out of district attendance agreement for a class that is above what our strategic plan says we would approve. Thoughts, questions?
If we approve it, there's a huge asterisk on this because it's not a normal situation, right?
What grade is?
Kinder.
Kinder. So we're gonna run into the class size issue next year.
Mhm.
If the student wants to continue to attend Kyla next year. There's going to be someone who's told no
Mhm.
out of that, assuming we don't have any more come in or less, more leave or whatever the case is. Someone's gonna be told no, and it's probably gonna be this child from Marion, now from Marion, because they were the last in.
Sure.
Well, it would depend on when they fill out their paperwork for next. school.
Okay, so when they fill out the paperwork for next year, okay,
Everything's your way.
right.
So
that's right.
we're already talking about a delayed transfer. So, do you want to have a delayed transfer of 6 weeks, or would you rather have a delayed transfer of a year and 6 weeks?
Right.
Is also the consideration.
Has that scenario been discussed with parents or guardians or?
Mhm.
I told her that that was up to the board at the meeting tonight. She got a receipt that they'd be discussed at this meeting.
And is there an understanding that this is just for 1 year?
Well, they all are. Yeah, because they have to fill them out each year.
Did we hear back from the parent on what they want to do?
Do they wanna just
She wants to stay here
enroll?
because she had talked about moving eventually, because at the time they were living with somebody and that's why they were Kyla district.
Okay.
And she did not want to go to Marion.
Okay, so at the moment, we're not over, correct? But
We're at 20.
we're over now.
Mhm.
Remember, we're supposed to be at 90% we're supposed to be at 18. So this is an out of district that we would be approving over the strategic plan.
Is it any? And maybe we don't need to like go down this rabbit hole, but was there anybody on a wait list also? And are we just going to approve this person because?
No, there's no one on the wait list for kindergarten, but I think you need to consider other wait list people. And if you're gonna asterisk one kid, then you better be ready to asterisk all of the kids.
Right.
That's
And
what I
what
was
is
just
the
gonna
point of
ask.
our
Yeah.
strategic plan if we're gonna put asterisks?
Right.
Is the hard
Right,
thought situation.
Because we had that a first grade issue
Mhm.
that we heard from last month. So these are the fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are really hard.
Yeah, they're not easy.
What I struggle with on this is if they had told us and if they had filled out the paperwork at the time that we were approving for the kindergarten transfers, and this one would have been approved.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we're just kind of tied here because nobody wants to be the bad guy, right? And say like you're gonna have to go check in with Marion, but if we say yes to this student, then we run into. a
Wide
problem.
open.
We open ourselves
Wide
wide
open.
open of other stuff
Yeah.
and don't have the space for the budget for it.
Right, I mean,
I
I don't
also
know,
have 0 applicants for our extra para support position that's open,
yeah,
which this would require if we got another in-district student.
Yeah, so at 21, isn't it, at 21, we need 1.5 hours of para support
Per child over.
per child over per day.
Yeah, so that's worth mentioning out loud again is, the reason our strategic plan cuts. Says we will cap our accepting about a district students for K 1 and 2 at 18, is because once we hit 20, Montana state law says. Now, every student over 20, you have to have an hour and a half of support per student per day.
Right.
So that's always important to kind of keep reminding ourselves is the strategic plan was written the way it was for a reason. We absolutely grandfathered in students that had already attended Kyla because of course. We truly care about children's education and we're trying to do the best we can, but this is just one of those. You kind of have to look at it as like a mid-year application, I think. And just black and white mid-year application, kindergarten is at, without this student, they're at 19. And so our strategic plan would dictate that we are full to out of district student applications at this time. One board member's opinion, but I think that if you write it down, you should follow it.
I agree.
I agree with you. It's really, it's terrible because
Well, we want to do right for every kid,
yeah,
but we can't risk all the kids.
Yeah.
And we can look at it from the other side too, is like, is this gonna be a disadvantage because this child would be going potentially into a new school next year without having that year with their class and that type of development and friendships and that type of thing. So like, looking at it in totality, what is the right thing to do by the student, by the school? I think the right thing to do is follow a strategic plan,
I agree.
which also is probably the best thing to do. You know, I don't know if we get some pushback from parents for that, but I kind of feel like that's the way we need to go.
So for my minutes, you wanna treat this as a mid-year application? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's fully applicant.
Yeah, it came in after the beginning of the year,
That's
Right.
good to know.
you know. So. It's not an easy decision, but
No.
I don't see how we approve it.
Okay, so I will take a motion to just deny the out of district attendance agreement for this one student, and we have a student ID number that we could reference.
I'll make a motion to deny the out of district enrollment for student number 25043500033. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
All in favor?
I,
Any opposed?
No.
I appreciate the clarification on that too, because those conversations are easier not in public. meeting. So thank you.
All right, we are moving on to our 2025-26 substitute list. You'll find that listed in the board packet.
Yes, every year we print the sub list for approval because technically they're a district employee and only the board can hire. It changes though monthly, depending on the applications. Right now, I think we've got 8 applications waiting for background checks.
Oh, great.
So this
Wow.
is, this is our, yeah,
Wow.
unfortunately, they're taking 2 months, but, so this is just our formal yearly sub approval list.
Okay. Any questions from the board? So everyone on this list has been background checked.
Correct.
They're pending background checks.
No, these are
These are,
good to go.
oh, okay.
that's so great.
What did we have last year for subs?
About this,
About this?
yeah.
Okay.
There's no questions. I'd take a motion to approve the 25-26 substitute list.
A motion to approve the 25-26 substitute list.
I'll say it.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So we have some policies that we are having second readings on, and we won't need to be doing this again.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Yes, so policy 1310 says the final vote for adoption may take place immediately following a single reading
Very.
and discussion of the particular policy. Policy 1700 is our, we
Love
gotta
that one.
think of a different word than uniform complaint, but our, if you have an actual complaint that has to do with, let's say like policies, procedures, not just, I don't like your fat face, it's something more important than that. That's 1700, little clarification was added onto that, and I think the board's pretty familiar with that particular policy. And then we have policy 3612. There was a line item added on the second page, item E, and basically saying that, I think students can't use AI unless, instructed to do so. Basically, just trying to make sure that we're not, students aren't using AI for cheating, I believe. is kind
Yeah,
of-
that's exactly what it said,
Yeah,
without permission.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, if the project has to do with utilizing AI, of course, use it, but if you're just doing it to write a paper, probably not.
probably not. Any questions on those three policies? If I could get a motion to approve those three policies?
I'll make a motion to approve those three policies.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are moving on to our policies that are about community use of school facilities. Liz, did you want to speak to that?
I wanted to specifically 4330F, our form. And number 7 talks about all district-owned equipment, facilities, and other property, and then the specific language that's very unclear says will remain unchanged and undamaged. So situations right now, we have lots of facility use of our gym mostly. And in the past, people have been using our equipment
Mhm.
and we've not been charging. I think what I want the board to consider today is what that term will remain unchanged and undamaged means, because if you go back then up into our policies, if we're not going to be if we're gonna be waiving fees, but they're going to be using our equipment, it's sort of like the wear and tear on our equipment. So do you want to allow people to put up our volleyball net and use it if they rent the gym space for free? Or would the intent of the board be, if they're going to be using their equipment, that fee is not waived? Or you are using the facility and none of our equipment is the expectation that I can write into our additional comments from the administrator. So I guess scenario might be helpful. So we have someone who wants to host a birthday party and it's volleyball season and it's a bunch of volleyball girls and they want to use the volleyball net. Volleyball net breaks, we cannot have our 2 home games the next week because we have a broken volleyball net.
Mhm.
And we have no fees then to pay to repair our volleyball net.
So I know the last time we visited this policy, one of the goals of the board was we were trying to encourage community involvement. So we were trying to make it pretty easy for people to rent the gym,
I
utilize
remember
the
that
gym.
conversation, yeah, absolutely.
Like if you want to throw a basketball at a basketball hoop, please do so. Because truly, I mean, it's taxpayer funded, so why would we say no, don't touch? But we
Right.
did want to be able to cover our losses in the event that you decided to knife our basketball, or we want to be able to fix by anyone.
Right.
I think probably the sticking point is when it's an expensive item.
Right.
So if you use, for example, our, why can't I think of it? If you have a microphone, like our,
The ADA system.
thank you, like, so if you go to use that, Well, the cost of replacing that to the district is astronomical, and are you going to pony up, I don't know, $15,000 deposit or whatever it would actually take, right? So I think the actual sticking, point just for me is, okay, the replacement cost of the net is X, right? So are you willing to throw down a deposit to cover X? If you are, and we're in season, I still don't like it because we are obligated to provide our students with sports opportunities. So for me, it became, it's just more of an issue of like, yes, you can use the balls, yes, you can use those scooters, but, our expensive equipment, we need to, just in my opinion, we need to maintain for our school and for its intended use. That's where I kind of have a thing with it.
Sure.
I personally would really like our gym facility to just be the building. So if you want to shoot hoops, bring your own basketball, we have PE that starts first thing Monday morning. So if the plan for that educational opportunity for our PE class was to use the scooters and play was that scooter ball game you were playing?
Yeah.
Scooter tag, we'll call it scooter tag, 'cause that's not important, but, and now those scooters have gotten broke, 5 of them have broke during birthday party on Sunday. That disrupts our educational program at this.
Sure.
So I hear you on opening our facility to community use, but if somebody wants to host a birthday party, you should probably bring your own chairs. Or
I think-
your own tables, like, the space is great, especially in the winter. I won't know that these things are broken until 7:30 on Monday morning, most
Right.
likely, and that's if I find it, if our lunch ladies find it when they're making breakfast, or PE is getting all set up and they come and find me and tell me that it's broken.
Is there public comment?
Yeah.
Can I just make, so I use a lot of facilities too, mainly for wrestling, mainly Flathead High School, and so I just. Like, my mind has been kind of going, and as a teacher, and as a parent, as seeing our volleyball team, so I just like to add that part, I think it's kind of relevant to this. One, I think people would love to use our facilities and pay, because they can do it still cheaper, and it's here, so I don't know that. People have a problem paying, I know I've paid quite a bit. I think about our volleyball, I know I could have the opportunity to bring in. Somebody to coach our volleyball players, and this might be a little different, but I'm just out of context, so like we could have. A small, or even all of our kids and charge them a small amount and pay this college level volleyball player to do a 2-hour camp. I don't know if this would fall into that thing, but it would also probably pay the school some money that would be available for the volleyball net and pay this coach that's looking for money in the summer. So as a person like that and just thinking about things, I bring wrestlers into Flathead to do, and I do the same thing where maybe can charge the kids $5 or $10 and they do a 2-hour camp and this person makes $100 and then we can pay the school too. And I don't know how that kind of feeds in, but I think it's a great opportunity for our young volleyball players to have that opportunity. And I don't know how it falls into the policy and the decisions and stuff like that, but I think providing some opportunities in the summer or off season where our kids can get a little extra practice, I just want to make sure that maybe that's a possibility too, when we're considering how we're gonna adopt the policy.
Correct, so Matt's talking about commercial use of our facility, which is a separate section of these policies.
Yeah.
And we can write in what that would be. Which is a whole other side to all of this.
Yeah,
Right
I
now,
just wanted to make sure that, I had some thoughts, so I wanted to get it out there.
But if you have an additional fee to use the equipment. And I'm not talking about a pot, I'm talking about an additional fee.
Yes.
And then the fees, if the equipment's not broken, the fees would be part of the budget for equipment replacement when we do have to replace it? I'm asking the question.
It's a good question.
What about the deposit? They break something, they don't get their deposit back because they do pay a deposit, correct?
But you're also talking about normal wear and tear.
Mm, It
Right.
just depends. We don't know what they're doing. We don't have cameras in there. And when we come in and then our stuff is broken and we have to replace it, it's like, what were they doing?
And is the $50 deposit? Like, gonna be enough if they end up breaking our PA system, you know what I mean?
Yeah. that one would be,
No.
Not for the PA. system.
I don't think anyone should be touching that personally.
Right.
That's my thing.
I think the other thing that the board needs to consider, like what Matt was talking about, whether it's someone at the collegiate level that's coming in or mom who wants to just have the girls have an open gym. Those are two very different things. Are we going to have liability insurance for that group? That is what our policy says. If we're going to be charging, there is rental fees in here. So it'd be $50 for like a group map size that's talking about that we would charge for using our things. And then there's also a $50 refundable deposit. So essentially, if something broke, we would have $100 there. The other piece that we need to remember at a small school, Matt's talking about using Flathead High School. They have an athletics director and 3 other administrators, plus all of their coaches who can take the time to find this replacement, get it ordered, get it set up, and coordinate all of that. We have me and Mary. Mary's got a full-time teaching job. I mean, these are the kinds of things that I think we also need to consider, the time and effort of replacing things and the time that can be dedicated or that would then need to be pulled from other things. I can't do walkthroughs if I'm ordering volleyball nets. I can't spend time with our kids and make relationship connections if I'm ordering volleyball nets. So I don't know if you would like to think, I mean, tabling this one and thinking about it is also an option, but it's been a hot topic, so far this year.
There's also an equipment insurance liability issue. If God forbid any of our equipment is default or it broke and wasn't reported, we rent it out. Someone gets hurt with that equipment, we've just opened ourselves up for liability.
Sure.
Yep.
Maybe we already do this, and I'm just unaware, but like, right now, we're happy to keep the building open for like use, right? People rent it out for the weekend and come play basketball. Do we have a list, or could we just make a list? These are the items that you guys can rent. If you wanna come use our facility, and we get to choose what those items are, because we know they're gonna be easily, like, we can replace them pretty easy. And then also they're really inexpensive, you know, and then
Like
every
basketball versus, well,
and then everything else that's not on the list, you can't use it. Those are the rules.
so if we did that, maybe it's worth tabling this for now and it goes before the policy committee. And a list of that is made basically, what equipment's available, what equipment's not available.
Yeah.
And then this is readdressed in future meeting. Like maybe that's the best way to approach this. I definitely see your point on kind of more expensive, big ticket items, but when you were talking about, well, you know, it's okay to bring a basketball. I was thinking to myself, but what if someone's tall enough and slam dunks and cracks the backboard? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, because that's a part of our equipment and part of the facility. So it's like, maybe that stuff needs to be discussed and further kind of fleshed out before you make a change.
Mhm.
I guess it's that's,
Yeah, it's part of the facility and its equipment,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So there's that too. So I don't know. I don't know that we have enough information to really make the change today.
what do you think?
Yeah, I think we should table it too, because it's bigger than how it initially sounds.
This is starting to snowball, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Not that we want to be full of committee meetings, every little thing, but maybe it needs to be discussed more.
No, I think this three policy package should be revisited with the standard operating procedure. How he would like me to. Like, I have my own opinions. We reached out to MPSBA. They said this needs to be a board directed decision, so.
So I think we'd like to see it go to committee to have more, so that what we're presenting to the board has been maybe discussed, especially, with the athletic director. Yes, I'd like to weigh in heavily on her thoughts also.
Yes.
I would love to have our PE teachers and coaches present as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe a committee meeting would allow them flexibility for time to, to do that. So yeah, at this time, I would ask that we table the facility use policies.
I'll make a motion to table action item D, the policy 4330, 4330 P and 4330 F.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are moving on to action item E, our test coordinator stipend.
Great. This is the position that lots of administrators take on at the health schools. We actually have our testing coordinator, that is a separate, it makes most sense for the way we have our school structured to have that also be included with our title teacher. Schools that have the administrator do it do not have a title teacher with that designated role. Watching our test coordinator. Not to talk about you. As you. Watching our test coordinator work so much outside of the contractual time and mostly in the summer. To get the school set up and ready to go. So it's getting all of our kids loaded into all of the benchmark testing plus all of the statewide testing that we have to do. And new students, old students rolled over. It totally not, and all the OPI trainings that we have to keep updated on totaled about 22 hours this year outside of contractual time. So I think we need to acknowledge that outside of contractual time work. And that is why I'm bringing that recommendation to.
So last meeting, we talked about you as the administrator having some flexibility to pay someone for out of contract hours. Is my understanding correct on
I
that?
think that's one of the MOUs will be.
That was for classified, so this would be a search.
Okay, there's the difference, sorry.
No, great question.
Okay.
Always good.
So this is basically just to acknowledge that that work is being done and paid for work that is done outside of the contract.
And this would make more sense, not in an hourly rate, but as just a stipend, because some years it will be more, some years it will be less. And just, it's a give and take, here's what we're offering you to do the testing coordinator.
Okay. I mean, I'm a big fan of paying people for work performed. Like, that kind of needs to happen.
I agree.
So, yeah. So I think this one's a pretty, in my mind, it's a pretty easy one.
Is that stipend in line with, like, we always break down, like, this coach does this stipend and this coach does this?
Yeah, I've reviewed the full list of all stipends and this is where I feel comfortable
Okay.
making a recommendation.
I'm happy to make a motion to,
Question?
no.
Okay.
sorry, no, any questions? I'm happy to make a motion to approve a test coordinator stipend of $500.
I'd like to second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have MOU, CE. And I am going to not use the staff member's name because just for, personal privacy. So let's refrain from using, otherwise we could close the meeting, but I didn't pre-note that, so let's be vague. You will see in your board packet that I think it was an email that came from Mary Eli, because she is the head of the KTA right now, the Kyla Teachers Association. Sorry, I gotta stop with the alphabet soup. The KTA voted to allow this particular staff member to have these different hours. So they voted a yes, and then just any change regarding hours, salary, et cetera, it has to go through the board. So that's why you have this. It did already go through your Kyla Teachers Association and they gave it a favorable vote. So they are just simply putting it before us. Any questions regarding that? You have any questions? You get the referral browser.
Oh. Trying to see who this was about, but No, no, I'm good. We're good.
Does this, school admin, does this schedule work for you, for the students?
No instructional time is missed. It is with the shrinking of contractual time before school, by 15 minutes. So now I only have 15 minutes. It's very difficult to have a staff meeting. We're squishing our student success team meetings into 15 minutes. That would be squished already with a half hour. And this MOA does not provide that staff member to be part of those SST meetings half of the time. I don't see any situation around this MOA for this school year, however, so.
So how does that affect time then going throughout the day? Do you have to fill this person in?
No, so none of them, he's only missing, this person is only missing collaboration time with staff
Sure.
about students, not missing any instructional time with students.
Is that a deal breaker?
I would ask for a motion to approve the MOU-CB.
I'll make a motion to approve MOU-CB.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Don't you get to make motions now?
That's.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You should make a motion.
yeah, but have we not gotten to that one yet?
Wait, was that on this? No, yeah, because we approved the policy last meeting. Yeah.
You can make motions
Yeah,
now.
this is habit. This is just complete
No,
habit.
no more habit. It's time for you to make motions.
Cool, I'll do the next one. MOU, CBA, contractual PIR, from this, we're just gonna, oh, that's a mouth. I'm gonna open up the word back. It's easy.
Collective bargaining agreement.
Are we on page 26? Is everyone?
I
Twenty- 28.
They're backwards in the packets, yours is 28.
Thank you.
Is that right?
28, okay. Thank you. So we have a memorandum of understanding. Was this
agreement.
agreement? Apologies.
This one's an understanding.
This one has not gone before the KTA yet.
Neither of these.
Okay. Liz, I'll just let you run with this.
Okay,
My brain is like,
got you.
thank you.
So the first MOU on page 28, then this is an understanding, it's not. This is an interpretation of what's already in the CBA, which is why it's not an agreement, it's really just a difference of a word and legalities, but. Essentially. The language right now on part-time staff contract is non-existent. So. What's happening right now, what's been understood for this school year. With our current part-time certified staff members. Is what section, what's described here in 11.2, the daily prep period and staff meetings, so. A trade-off for not having a full preparation period every day. The understanding then between the staff member and administration is that they are not required to attend all of the early out meetings. So. If there's a meeting that I need this person to be in attendance of, they will figure that out. Or they will zoom in, all that will make adjustments, etc. What should also be written into their contract, however, is that. Anybody who has part-time work should be expected to be at all early out meetings as part of your salaried position. It's not currently in there either. So the trade-off right now, for this school year is this parties agree section. So part-time work contracts are subject to administrative recommendation and board approval every year. So sort of like you're out of district. You might have been approved this year for a part-time contract, that does not mean that you're going to be offered a part-time contract next year, et cetera. Secondly, we are waiving 11.2 out of the CBA for any part-time certified staff member for this school year only. The second half of this then is what's recommended by administration to be put into the CBA. So we're already talking about it in this MOU. We might as well just hammer out the CBA language rather than bring it back up in negotiations. So sick leave should not be, you should not be getting or accruing a full-time staff member's amount of sick leave if you don't work full-time. So any of your sick leave that you are afforded for that school year should be prorated to whatever your FTE is. So if you're a 0.5 worker,
Yeah.
you should get 0.5 of the sick leave that everybody else gets, that's a full-time staff member.
We practice that, it's just not in the CBA.
Right.
Right.
6.2D then, your sick leave would be adjusted, so if you only work a half day, the half day sick leave that's noted does not make any sense. So those times would be adjusted on an individual contractual basis. So the blue is new language, strike throughs are what's suggested to be removed. Personal leave, again, you're offered 4 days of personal leave, that would be prorated to your part-time FTE. And then your time is adjusted as well. If we get down to 8.1, I do not think that any staff member that is not full-time should receive the full-time health annuity benefit. So what has been offered up is your health benefit is going to be prorated to your FTE. And then finally, if you are a part-time staff member, the amount of preparation time that you should receive should be prorated to your FTE. So you should not receive a 50-minute preparation period, the same as a 1.0 staff. If you only work 0.5, you should then get 25 minutes of prep, since you are contracted half of what other staff are getting, essentially. None of that's in the CBA, which is not advantageous to administrators who are trying to uphold the CBA and becomes really difficult. The last part though, staff meetings are really important. We don't have time in the contract right now with the working hours on either end to be shortened, to have staff meetings. So, it's really important that they're at all of our early outs. So regardless of what your FTE is, regardless of what your working hours are, I would expect all of our staff as a salaried person to make sure that those are noted, and you should be working then and come join us at our staff meeting. Or our PD or whatever it might be.
It seems pretty straightforward, I don't have any problem with any of that. I think it makes sense. So,
Tim?
I would take a motion.
You will make.
I will make a motion to approve the MOU CBA contractual PIR early out.
I will second.
You gonna let me do the next part? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I don't like it, it's uncomfortable. I don't like change, it's not making me happy. Alright. Now we're going to do the MOU certified summer work, and again, we'll hand it over to our lovely Edna.
So this is actually a memorandum of agreement, so this is language that's not currently in the CBA, this is something new you would agree to with the KTA. Essentially, there's multitude of reasons why I need staff to be present during their not work year calendar. So also by the start of next school year, everyone will have a work year calendar. Here are the dates that you are expected to be at work, and those will be brought towards the board, but this would be then anything outside of that work year calendar. So it would not include Christmas break, spring break, Thanksgiving break. It would just be those outside of your work year calendars in the summer, essentially. So why do I need those? Sometimes, somebody might resign at the very, very end of May. We float our pool, and then we have a hiring committee that needs to come together the end of June. Those people are outside of their contractual time, or sorry, I should say their work year calendar. Cause we are salaried staff, and everyone at this school recognizes that we are expected to do things beyond our work day. Expecting people to do things outside of their work year calendar seems a little, that's where a difference is. Let's see, so what this MOA says is if I need people to be part of a committee, I would basically float that to the entire certified staff. So it would be optional. I can't tell people they're going to be part of a hiring committee, but I think people would rather hire their colleagues than be told this is your new colleague. So I've never had a hiring pool that's not, volunteers are not readily available to join those. I do think they should be compensated for that time. So instead of paying people differently based on whatever their salary is, it would just be the hourly rate of the base pay. So for us this year, it's the STARS money. So whatever the base pay would be for our certified staff, that's in an hourly rate is what I'm proposing then to the KTA and admin, or sorry, board.
So for the minutes, are you talking about the base on the step one or the beginning stars? Because those are two different numbers.
Certified base pay.
So the very top one, beginning.
Well, our base pay changes to whatever STARS is.
Stars is what we bring them in at, but it's not their base pay. You see, there's two different numbers. I just need to know which I'm putting in my minutes.
Yeah, we didn't change the matrix. We kept the matrix with the base pay at whatever that number was. And then we just brought people in that didn't meet stars. We brought them in.
So what else do we use base pay for?
Anytime you negotiate and you want something on your base, the percentage goes on the base.
Yep.
And then it trickles all down.
Yeah, that makes sense. The intention of this then, so we'll need to clarify that before this goes out, or when you make a motion is the,
Stars.
I don't wanna call it stars, cause it's gonna be whatever your lowest paid,
Okay,
your zero experience, zero BA higher would be.
okay, so that would be the stars.
I don't know how else to put it.
41,650. 41,650.
That's fine, whatever it's in their contract as then.
Okay, that's perfect.
Well, let's not call it that, cause that's gonna go away. That's gonna be
That's what I'm.
one
thinking as well.
legislative.
So when you negotiate this year, but the teachers will have to take that word out. Because it's in their actual CBA, it's the stars word.
Yeah, I think it's on their matrix,
So,
but that's fine. We can. But
So,
for,
so the
this
matrix
level-
is in the contract, correct?
yes,
Could you state that it is the start rate as indicated in the contract?
Yeah,
yeah, we don't want to use the base pay. Let's use beginning wage.
you can use STARS Act for this, cause you'll have to put this into the CBA negotiations anyways. So then you can change the STARS language in both places, if you just use STARS for this. The intention is whatever a zero experience, zero, like BA plus zero person would come in at.
Yep.
Is what we should be using. And that will become important later on. I think we should base everything off of that. Including our stipends, but we'll go there later. Just stick with me for now. So there's a reason, there's a rhyme or reason, and I'm setting us up to be so highly organized, but, okay, so this would not then include paying our testing coordinator would not also get this. Cause they're being paid a stipend for that. Our summer program director would not be paid this, yada, yada. So it's anything that you're not already being paid for in addition to. Let's see, so let's say I need 3 certified staff members for this hiring committee, I have 5. That say they want to do it, I would take them on, seniority, or sorry, the need of the committee and then seniority. So if I'm hiring a middle school teacher and I have K1, 2, 6, 7, 8, say they wanna do it, it would make most sense, that committee would need the middle school team to be part of that committee. If it really didn't matter, let's say, new people need to join the strategic plan committee and we needed to meet again in the summer. And there's 5, it would just be based on seniority then, so highest seniority, you get to come join the team, et cetera. I can't think, first come, first serve is debatable, so, well, I called you, well, I wasn't in my office because it's summer, so it takes all of that out.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then I do think it should be part of the CBA, and again, just work done June, July, or August. Oh, so this should also be admin directed, so not, well, I needed to paint my room. Well, did you need to paint your room or did you want to paint your room? We don't get into that, then this would be something that I would need help or
Something
call.
that you're requesting.
Yeah,
30% of whatever it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but part of this is also then we had a lot of staff come in this past summer. You've already voted to have the classified staff retroactively paid to the 25-26 summer. I would ask that our certified also be retro paid for the work they did this summer.
I'm a big fan of paying people for work that they do.
As am I, I'm just a little confused of where we're at right now. Sure, there was a lot that kind of came out, so what are we? Which topic are we actually addressing?
Sure, so we have this memorandum of agreement.
Right.
Basically stating that work done during the summer, which is outside of your work calendar. We would, as a district, we would like to pay you for doing that.
Right.
We already did it for class.
Right.
This is certified, so these are like teachers, right?
Right,
So this would just, it's just a little more complicated with teachers because they have a certified bargaining agreement.
Mhm.
So it's not as simple as like, we'll just pay you, because we have to actually get approval from their association to pay them additional wages.
I see.
So that's why it gets like a little layered. So this is saying, we as a board would like to present this document to the Pilot Teachers Association saying, you know, we want to pay you for work performed outside of your work calendar,
Sure.
but we're gonna pay you at the rate of, well, we need to fix the language in there, because it's basically the base stars.
That's what tripped me out, okay.
Because our pay matrix is like this big gobbledygook.
Yeah,
I mean, usually we just go by that top left box, but because of stars, we started people down that row. So we wanna grab that one. We just need to think of a way to say, if we're grabbing this box, not this box.
the level.
Yeah.
Salary versus.
Isn't there a year on it?
So,
Like, isn't it a year? Is it year 3 or 4? At year 4 or whatever, isn't it? Something like that.
No,
It's not.
we don't do that anymore. They got rid of it.
Mm.
That you stay there for a certain amount of years. Yeah.
No, I just mean the STARS Act, isn't that actually a number on there?
it
No?
actually got
No.
split between 2, I think.
Weird,
It's a great
okay.
question.
Yeah, I didn't look at it.
It's a great question.
And then this makes it easier rather than finding, so let's say I had 5 people in our committee. Sharon doesn't need to go in and find all 5 of those staff members hourly rate to pay them either. It's just, here's your hourly rate.
Right, it is this and it's for everyone.
And that's just moving forward, that's not counting for this, over this summer, correct?
No, I want it retro paid.
Oh, so how do you know what they were, how long everyone was here for though?
Well, I have it logged of,
Okay,
yeah, this has been a long time coming
Okay.
in my mind. It's all there.
So. I think everybody's in agreement, pay people for the work, right? Have we? Did we, and I just miss it, lock down what that pay is per hour?
Yeah,
We did.
yes, sorry, I wish I had the pay matrix.
It's not a dollar figure that we have right now that's in the
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, so we
It's-
used the STARS Act that
Right.
said, no matter what, you're coming in at this pay.
Right,
We're gonna break that down to what an hourly rate would be,
okay,
and that's what you're getting, regardless of your years of experience or your education level.
correct,
Whatever that STARS Act is, broken down to an hourly, that's what you're getting. And everybody's gonna get that.
okay,
So if they're here for 3 hours, they get 3 hours of that base pay, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all that makes sense, I'm just wondering, like. what is it, and is that fair? Like,
Mhm.
is it fair compensation for what you've been doing?
It is.
It
Well,
is,
you're paid for the work that you're doing on that committee.
right,
Yeah.
right, but if it's $2 an hour.
It's more than that.
Well, right now they haven't gotten paid at all, so.
Right, it's just a solid argument.
I can
Probably like
give
30
you a
something
rough
an
estimate
hour.
here.
Sharon and calculated it, right?
Sharon will give us a rough estimate.
It's like $28, something like that.
I think it's more than that.
It's gotta be like
Don't,
30
don't hold it
something
to
an
the
hour.
exact number, but it
Yeah.
gets us.
I just wanted to make sure that it was a fair,
Not insulting.
exactly,
Yeah, like, here's your $5, thank you.
exactly.
I
Well,
will,
it's starting teacher.
It's 33, it's about 33 on 34 an hour too.
So the KT, we can approve this you can approve this as a board, just joining teams left and right, sorry. And then the KTA can come back and they can vote and just say. We don't want our money to go to, I don't know,
Yeah.
but that's the other part to all this, so we would rather have that in our salaries than people get paid outside of their contracts, but. This is what. I think is right to do, and then you're kind of putting the ball in their court.
Sure, okay.
And then do you have any idea of what, because if you wanna go retro pay,
Mhm.
what fund we wanna take it out of?
we can take it out of our salaries because we're still
Because we're sort of short the one staff nurse.
salary for extra staff. So that was good. And then it keeps it a little more accurate.
And then it's easier to budget for next year.
Mhm.
Yep. Might be advantageous to create a new line item. But we can talk about that during budget.
Hear me.
I did it when we did the classified, they cannot go into the same line.
She knows I like to follow bouncy. Just. Don't pick on me. I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve this memorandum of agreement with a wording change, because we're not gonna use certified base pay. We're going to think of a clever way to say like stars base pay. And then we can argue that out during negotiations.
The only thing I would ask is, do you want to make the?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking. Cause I'm.
Could you just word it at 33 an hour?
Yeah.
And just put that number in there and you won't have to say stars or anything like that?
Well,
You
we
have to change it.
want to say prayer. Stars
You
is
just
good.
change it. You have
The
to change
star
it
percentage
in.
on there.
Yeah.
And if you do it by
Right.
your contract,
True.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the MO. Says you on the
Apologies, it's another.
MOA certified summer.
I second this.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna sign that change. Okay, we are moving on to consideration of cameras bid. There was a lengthy bid in the third packet
Yes, there was.
detailing everything.
I was like, why is this board packet so long? And I saw the bid.
So we have some spots where our cameras are, we currently have cameras in our building, step one. We have spots that are not picking up activity, and it's already this school year, which is not very long, would have been advantageous to have some cameras placed in spots where, because the activity is always gonna happen when we can't see it. And then you always have differing opinions of an event that occurred, so it is nice for our admin or whomever is dealing with any situation, it could be positive or negative, to have eyes to say, well, it pretty much looks like you handed them the hamburger,
So we talked about this in the safety meeting. Liz, you identified a bunch of locations, correct, where you wanted. Better coverage, or places that there was no coverage that you wanted some camera coverage. So, you wanna run with that?
Sure, I think, the main thing that this bid is going to do is get us cameras in the gym. So,
Yeah.
we actually only need one, and it would be positioned right above the kitchen, and it has like a double zoom on it. So it would see all of the stage, all of the, sorry. Feels like I poked my eye into the Oscar fun. All the way to the exit by the boys' bathroom, you can see up to the girl, we can see like that kind of diagonal then by the drinking fountains to the lockers. You can't see the girls' bathroom door, but almost all the way down that little mini hallway. And then you can definitely see the main entrance to our gym. So you can see the entire gym from this one camera. And then, I could double zoom in and even see who is entering from each door. We would also need to increase our, something internet-y in the gym, which is part of this bid.
I think it was an access point,
That
adding an
sounds right.
access point
Yeah.
to the gym.
Yeah.
So that it will carry the data feed of the camera.
So we already have the Wi-Fi in there and actually a line,
Let's do, you can pause, we can. pause
yeah,
the
I
meeting.
really do that.
We're gonna pause the meeting.
What's wrong?
I don't,
Someone or?
So 4:39, we're just gonna pause.
okay, I can unplug, I just needed to find that.
It's okay.
I'll just go like this, so you can ignore me.
Do you need to go late flush?
Sure, I'm good. I'm good, here we go, cause I really want my cameras, I'm so excited.
It will unpause also at 4:30.
Okay, unpause at 4:39, apologies.
Do the cameras, can they be viewed in real time and they record?
Yeah, and we're actually, they've updated their own systems at no charge, and we can go back a whole month now instead of just 7 days, which is pretty awesome.
Sorry.
So I think it's good we tabled the, gym policy readings till after this is hopefully approved, cause it would be nice, we can go back and see what has been happening during these rentals, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's not, well, it was broke when I got it, well, I watched you launch that scooter off the stage, I doubt it was probably broken before you did that conversation, and then, so while they were already out doing the gym, which is the main part, like, I don't have a camera right out here that looks at the staff bathrooms down that hall. It's right next to the middle school, not a very good spot to not have cameras. I didn't have a camera pointing towards the 4, 5 bathrooms, and then there's no camera pointing towards the bathrooms in the K3 hallway. It points away from the bathrooms and I can't see the bathroom door, and if you're noticing a pattern, we have a lot of behaviors that have been happening in the bathroom. And lots of mixed stories, so, nothing of alarm, but it's just, it would be a 5-minute long conversation rather than a 2-hour parade of,
He said, she said.
and then not having it, so, but we're gonna agree to disagree. So those are the other cameras that are added on here that are not actually a whole lot. And the great thing is we already have the ports and the little boxy things for IT. So it's really just a camera and the wiring, and then they plug it in, which is why they don't look very expensive on this bid.
We definitely get use out of our camera system, and we have had times where, maybe we've been without an admin and you've been able to ask a teacher to be our like behavioral person and given them access to the cameras, and they're able to do that on a prep because there's, hey, I can look at the film, I can see exactly what happened, so in that regard, it has, in the past, it's helped us a lot.
Can I talk funding?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so excited. So I've been researching law books. The law books, any policies, anything where we can find money for this, and I found it.
Oh.
So it's in the building fund, and we've been putting money over there for a few years anyway. Well, this last legislative session, they boosted it really good. And they put, this year alone, they put 46,000, it's can be used for student safety. It's also the fund that we pay, one of our counselor out of because she's considered safety. So we do have money in the building reserve fund for this. So, and I can pass a sticky with how much is in there.
You're good. I'm very proud of you though.
I love cameras in the gym. I think that's great.
What else can we buy with that budget?
See, that's why you don't wanna give them a sticky note.
Well, there's gutters next.
But I'm thinking generator for the gym.
I was thinking.
On task.
Okay,
Consideration of Karen, any other questions?
I'm just going through the bid and I just see scope of work, so he really kind of breaks it down really nicely. Add 6 cameras to system, no lift for gym camera, use ladders, floor is soft, add whatever that means.
We have our squishy.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
don't wreck the floor while you're
Yeah,
installing.
don't put a lift in there.
It shouldn't be soft for people.
Add Hikvision app to
It's not soft for
major
people.
computers, add 4-channel NVR to office, add access points. and PoE switch in the gym, 2 open ports. So basically, it goes through all the stuff that they're gonna be doing, and it's not a bargain, because nothing's a bargain, but I definitely think it's reasonable, and yeah.
I'm a huge fan of cameras. I've
Yeah.
used them so many times during investigations that cleared it somebody of wrongdoing or condemned them of it. So I'm a huge fan of cameras.
And not only is it, our gym, but remembering it's our basically before school program, our lunch breakfast program too, and those are a lot, I mean, they're hot button items, so.
So then we just need a motion to approve the purchase of these cameras and update our system. Right,
Yeah.
I'd like to.
Okay,
I'd like to second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And you guys will watch it and then you'll wanna join my gym class.
Oh,
Let's go, let's go.
My daughter loves you, Jane.
They all do.
All right, consideration of building gutters. Is
All
this
right.
a school committee thing? or-
Take it out again.
Liz is gonna know more about this, but basically, we have a bid to rework basically all the gutter systems. You mentioned in our facilities committee meeting that we had some water issues with that really heavy rain that we were getting. We trying to
Back
get,
into the basement.
yeah. And this would go probably quite a ways to solving that. I'm trying to get past this camera bid.
Page 60.
There we are.
Now mine reloaded.
Um. You can, Liz, you can speak to the specifics of it, but just on this bid, one thing that I noted. Saw it when I was reading through, if we approve the bid, here it is. If we approve the bid in full, they're going to discount the work $1,100. So. If you wanna speak to the specifics, Liz, of what they're planning on doing. And then. Yeah, I just wanted to put the savings, kind of a discount if you go for all of it at once.
This was, unanimous, this and the cameras, sorry, I forgot to tell you, cameras were unanimously voted by our safety facility, long range facility planning committee.
Yeah.
We do have a long list. I can just show you during my principal's report, but we need to start checking off some of these things. We also cannot just have summer work be decided in May, and so just because we're approving it now doesn't mean we're going to do it right away. The facility, long range facility planning committee actually thought it would be best to do this after the snow this year, so like fresh. And they can be installed correctly without having to rush, you know, it's snowing in Deer Park right now, I think. So this is something that you're approving to get done after the 25-26 winter year.
Will your bid hold that one? Most bids are like 30 days.
I don't know if there's a time. Frame on this bid.
I think he would do it.
Yes.
Well, and we can, I mean, we could pay for it and not do hold it, but
Would pay for it as well, yeah.
Yeah, we just have to accept it. From them.
so we need to start getting these things approved, but also on a bigger scheme of things, the water problem at Kyla School is a big issue. So there was a day, yeah, doesn't matter, there's a Wednesday. But, it was just downpouring, and the amount of water that runs directly into the foundations of all of our buildings is not conducive to old buildings that are gonna last much longer.
Yep.
So this is one that makes sense to bring forward, just like cameras. And then we'll take a deep dive and a big look at our long range facility plan in the future and see where we want to go. But these seem like relatively inexpensive fixes that will fix very large problems that we need to just get moving on.
Well, I'm in favor of this. I think we also discussed using some heat tape and whether or not that was gonna be possible, to add on to this bid or, and if they would do the work, right? do you know if we reached out to them to see if that was possible?
I have
Cause I
not.
didn't see it on here.
Yeah, I have not yet. Our safety committee meeting was the same day your board packet went out. So you could, that will be under my, maximum of what I can just purchase.
Okay.
In addition to this, is kind of my thinking there too, but it was a good addition, the long range facility committee thought to add.
Any further questions or comments on the gutters?
Like everything, it's too expensive, but.
I know.
I put out bids that I sometimes consider too expensive too, so yeah, I understand, and it's probably time to stop band-aiding it and actually fixing it, so
Mhm.
you can't have water going in the buildings.
Then if we want to keep the building. in the long run.
Well, we really wanted to pass a bond and have a new bond.
Yes, and then we calculated what that would cost.
Mhm.
All right.
So we need a motion to
Yep, I need a
accept this bid
motion
for,
to accept the rain tight roofing bid for gutters.
I would like to motion to accept the rain tight roofing, she's contract for a bid.
I will second, because my vice chair told me to. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We gotta get you in the habit
See
of,
why you don't want me to do it, because now I gotta sign it, date it, and then you're gonna sit here and go, see,
that's okay,
I have a rhythm.
you're fine.
You just slowed down this meeting by 1 time saying.
Yeah.
Okay, consideration of our CHS moving contract, which is we went with CHS last year.
Yeah, we've always been with them.
And are they now content with our um filling issue?
We are gonna need to figure out if we either put a table over it, because when the snow comes, they're still gonna have to dig it out.
Okay.
So
Did we use straw bales? Was that?
it was a
effective?
disaster.
Was it a disaster?
The CHS hated it and they were not happy.
Did it
So-
freeze?
It froze, it got muddy, it was just bad.
Make
So
it-
just put a table, yeah,
Put a
we'll just put a
table.
table. See.
So it'll be. easier.
Okay.
Did the cost go up on this contract or was it the same as last year?
You know, I didn't compare price, I didn't look. I know that they gave us a good deal last year,
Yeah,
because that's why we actually entered into a contract, so we've never had a contract with them before.
right.
But yeah, it's,
I just don't remember what it was, so I was just curious if prices are going up or if they're staying the same, but. I mean, I don't think it's out of line with.
This is the same cost as last year, or price per gallon, and then just to be full transparent with the board, my brother-in-law has moved into the role of this person selling, so there's gonna be full transfer. We've already had the contracts with him before I
Yeah.
came back, but.
Yep.
And he did say he would keep it the same cost per gallon as we had last year.
Nice.
I have no problem with that,
Okay. I take a motion to approve our CHS propane contract.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh. The next item on the agenda is our Board of Trustees yearly goal review. So each year the board sets goals. It's good to have goals. It's good to have goals that you're actually going to meet. So that's kind of a double thing for me. If you're gonna put it in writing, I think you should be willing to do it. I'm always strongly opposed to like putting it in writing and then, okay, we'll just review it in a year. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna pull up a note here. Because our bond did not pass, I still think one of our board goals should be facility and safety, maintenance and improvement. I don't want the fact that the bond didn't pass. The bond didn't pass, and then for a year, we all kind of like needed to lick our wounds, and we got that year, and yay us, and now it's time to keep moving. We do have a multi-district agreement. We did save, we were good stewards of the district's money, and so we need to put that money into play with things like gutters, et cetera. If it's a board goal, I think we'll keep hammering at it and hitting it. We could even make sure monthly we have an agenda item that's something about like, how are we doing on our goals, so that we're accountable. So that was a big one. I would like the board to consider doing a facility safety, maintenance and improvement goal. Monthly visits to the school, I like as a goal because we tend to communicate with staff, we tend to see our facility. We can see where the water is coming in, or it gives Liz an opportunity to go like, oh, hey, while you're here, let me show you this thing that decided to break and self-destruct, right?
Yeah.
It gives us eyes on the problem. So I do like that. It's also fun just to talk to the students, and sometimes they're very open and they go like, I want goldfish crackers, you guys suck. That's fun. Like, I like hearing the students have an opinion on things.
Sure.
So I'm a huge advocate of that one. Also want the board to consider the Montana School Board Association, which we constantly call MTSBA. They have trainings, and the trainings are fantastic and they're often free. If they're a little bit of money, they're a little bit of money. We do have that in our budget. They're often free. So I would love if the board members would consider committing to attending at least one annually. MTSBA also does a Think Tank Thursday. And my role under other chairs was always to like attend and give a little synopsis to the chair. So I just think it's really important if maybe as a team, we can say, as a team, at least one of us is going to attend that Think Tank Thursday at least once a month. It gives us a chance to keep on top of what's going on with the legislature, what's keeping Lance very upset. Like, it's just, it's good information. Sometimes you'll be like, that was a lot of words and I didn't get much out of it, and that's okay too. That's a good update. So those were kind of the 4 that I would like to put before the board. Yeah. Any additional thoughts on goals, directions you'd like to see your board go?
I'm too new to have ideas. for
That's
that.
okay.
I feel the
That's
same.
fair.
I was like, feel a little trapped here because like, I don't.
That's
know.
fair.
We don't know enough to.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but I do wanna say that I really like the idea of like maybe, all of us sharing the responsibility of like, attending the Thursday.
Think Tank Thursdays?
thing.
Yeah.
Because I've been very interested in that, but like, also we have this and then we have our other committee and then we have,
Yeah.
so it does seem to be a lot, but also I'm curious, this whole, trustee yearly goal thing, is this a goal for all of us as a group, or is this just like individual goals?
Yes. We function,
Yes.
we function as we're a 5-member team.
Yeah.
So everything that we set that says the word board is a 5-member team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always best to know that like, as an individual, we actually have no authority, but as a 5-member team, that's when we already yours.
Great.
So always best to think of like these goals, this is for the board. It's okay if we work as a team to accomplish.
On the monthly in-house school visits, which I love the
Yeah.
idea. When it's not winter and I can actually physically get here. I would assume that we make those arrangements in advance, because we don't want to show up on the worst possible day
Yes,
for the school.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so in the past, I have preferred to touch base with the admin. I have also liked to just pop over when it works for my schedule. Both of them seem to be productive. Yeah,
So then my second question, going back to the policies that got approved. Will we need to get background checks?
Oh,
yes, but you are background checked as a board member.
No,
We're
No,
not?
I don't
No.
think we are.
no,
I had to-
I fill out a paper,
not required.
a notary signs it, I turn it in, that was it.
I had to get background checked to be on the board,
Mm-mm.
many moons ago.
I never filled out background paperwork.
Well, I mean, it's been a long time, maybe they don't do that anymore. But yes, I would say yes, because that's our thing. You would absolutely have the opportunity to be unsupervised, and so yes, I would ask that you get background check. Yes.
It's probably good that you just background check all of us.
Yeah, just call the superintendent's office. I've got their number. Tell them you're a trustee for Kyla School and Kyla will pay for it. It's up for you.
What?
We only pay for background checks if it's employment.
Yep.
Or we will do trustees. We do not do it for volunteers.
Yes, sir.
Can you email us the content?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And it is, we had a coach get theirs done on August 25th and we got it back on Tuesday.
It's,
So
yeah.
it's not going to be quick. But we are trying to get the county superintendent's office the fingerprint scanner. That's an immediate 2 to 3 day rather than paper copies back and forth. And they're on a wait list for I guess all school districts are asking for those now, that they've changed these policies, so. Flag County is on the wait list for that.
So I really like the kind of as a board goal to have the facility status. Because that's something, our facility's not getting any younger. And it's since I joined the board a couple of years ago, it's needed a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And it didn't necessarily get the attention it needed because for half the time I've been on the board. There was the notion that we were gonna have a bond, and then the other half, like you said, we were kind of like in our wounds from the bond not passing.
Yeah.
So I like putting that on there just so that we have some focus on it, we hit the low hanging fruit and we can really make some improvements that are necessary at this point.
Could we, with the number one, so where it says Kyla School Growth Plan for the Future, take out for the future and add facility maintenance safety? And wouldn't that, because it's always gonna continue to grow. And then that way you have your facility safety maintenance and you still have your growth plan.
Yeah, the reason I didn't repeat that was because I couldn't even figure out what that was, and that just means to me that we had some brilliant discussion, we put down that word, and then I went back however many months later and went, I don't know what that means. So that's why I went, I'm just gonna say very specifically facility and safety.
Okay, so get rid of number one and add the facility maintenance safety.
Yeah, I'd like to do facility, safety, maintain and improve.
Maintain and improve.
Mhm.
And then the other one was, so get rid of number one
I'd like to keep number 2, trustees monthly in-house school visits.
and okay, number three.
Number 3, with board approval, I'd like to do MTSBA training at least 1 annually.
So I have think tank rotation and MTSBA annually.
Mhm.
Okay, and then, so there's only three?
Yeah, I had 4 because I wrote it was Thursday, at least 1 member attend monthly.
Okay, yeah, I'll combine those two.
I would really like a board goal to be, that all of you commit to do new board training. For whomever joins, that's a board goal and an expectation that you do the MTSBA new board member. I don't know how many of you have done that, but
Many times.
It is huge.
it goes over like why you, if I send an email, you don't reply all to that email. And what that could imply, why you can't, 3 of you can't stand in the parking lot after a board meeting and have a side conversation. It really brings that all together for, I think, board members in this role.
Yeah,
There's some laws that.
what your
we have to follow.
responsibilities are, hire policy, something else, a lot of people, and I'll be blunt, come into this role thinking, I don't like this, I'm gonna change it. Well, you're not an individual anymore, you're a board, you can't work as an individual. And so that's where, so it's, Liz is absolutely right, I mean, it's such an important training. So,
It has unfortunately passed already for this school year.
They do have
It was
recording, yeah.
Yeah, recorded. That I would obviously leave up to our newer members because Nick and I have done that at nauseam. I think I've sat through that 3 times.
I think I've only done it once. I could probably benefit from it again.
I
It's a
have
good
a
idea.
motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's make
We will
that,
commit to that.
let's do that number 5 then.
I'll commit to doing it again.
I love you guys, I did do it this year.
I mean, it's good for both you and Refractor, so, after you two are on the board for a year and a half, 2 years, it's probably good to do it.
Yeah.
Cause that's the point I'm at now, I've been here a couple of years, it's like, it'd be good to just kind of go back to the basics a little bit. And understand why this stuff is important, yeah. So, keeps the top of mind.
How long have you been on this?
2 years. Not for election next year.
I remember voting for you.
Well, thank you.
Are we good with those goals?
Yes.
I am.
Yes, okay, great.
so I'm gonna draft this and then before we publish it on the website, I'm gonna have you look at it just to make sure. I have
Yes.
this.
Sounds good.
Can we make the facility one though, like a long range facility plan? Could we have language in that talks about not just fixing or maintaining, but that we are actually
Planning.
two of you are on the long range facility plan committee, I think that's some important language to maybe consider.
So if we like say short and long-term facility,
Yeah, I think lots of times at Kyla, we get wrapped up in fixing and we're calling it maintenance, but if we're all, and that was one of my focal points that I presented in August, was a long range facility plan. If we're all kind of aligning then with the same language to that, helps all of us stay accountable.
So growth plan for the future.
But that's what I'm saying, if, that would be part of a long range facility plan. But that's a board goal, that's just my recommendation or suggestion.
So right now I have facility safety, maintain and improve, and then we could add
Plan for future.
including long-term facility. plan.
Well, take number one and go plan for the long-term facility.
Long-term facility needs.
So we're gonna keep our trustee monthly in-house school visits. We're gonna add facility safety, maintain and improve, including long-term facility plan. I shouldn't speak fast, I'm sorry. We're gonna do MTSBA training at least one annually, including
new trustee orientation.
do we wanna say for all board members?
I think it hurts for everyone to do it, though.
All board members? And then we are also gonna add a separate item, Think Tank Thursday, at least one member attend monthly. And I would take a motion to approve those goals.
I move to approve the board goals.
It's like,
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the emergency procedure manual update is action item M. However, I've heard from committee that more time, they had a very good conversation and that more time is needed to keep updating, talking, discussing. So at this time, I would just ask to table this agenda item.
I will table the emergency procedure manual update.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. We're gonna move on to our information items. There were no follow-up discussion items from our September agenda. And so that will move us on to our principal's report.
Great.
That man's real dead by now.
Yeah.
Okay. So facility updates, we fixed our flagpole and then our flagpole rope came untied, so our flagpole is unfixed.
You just need a ladder to re-thread it.
Yeah. We needed a lift to actually fix the pulley the first time, and then the rope came undone, which is actually good news compared to what we thought. We thought the pulley was maybe had ripped the rope, I don't know. But just came untied, so we are working to fix the flagpole again. And not lose our patience in the process, because it is important to me.
Do we just need to tie a knot in the end of the rope? Is that what happened? or-
Well, we actually, some clips have been found, so it doesn't even need to be a knot, it's just like some, I don't even know. They're flippy doos that have been
like a-
recommended
it's
by
like a-
team maintenance, and,
It's like a friction clip.
yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
So we'll get that back and running, as soon as possible. Our long range facility, safety, security committee, had wonderful discussion. We've already gone over the bid recommendations, and then we really took a deep dive into our emergency procedures manual, which in the future we'll call emergency operations plan once it's approved by the board. And some really good work has been done in our community that, in a closed session I'll go deeper into, but helping out with those community relations that were a 24-25 board goal, along the way. But we really want to take time to do our emergency procedures manual right, rather than get it done.
I think we just ran out of time to.
We could have probably talked for 5 hours
Yeah.
on that thing, and we had a plan to bring it to the board and finish it digitally, but it just felt like we needed to be in person for another meeting and. So that was unanimous actually afterwards that we would ask to table it tonight. We do have our custodian out for another 4 weeks after this week. And no custodial substitutes well, I think one applied pending background check. We're not gonna get that background check back before we don't need a substitute, so we pivoted to a plan B. And then we're no call, no return, that plan B, so now we're on to plan C. And, Miss Tika is actually working 2 hours extra at the hourly rate for our sub pay, to do our custodial duties. She's doing a fabulous job. And we're really grateful that she's willing to do those things. On top of that, then, we're having a little work-based learning opportunity in the classrooms and taking some ownership in our own spaces. So we're adding vacuuming our own rooms to the jobs of our students at the end of the day. They're taking their classroom garbages out into the hallway garbage cans.
I feel like this is a great idea anyways.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is a life skill. thing,
I
yeah.
love it. You know, if you make a glitter mess, you're gonna clean it up,
Right.
type of mentality, and there's not always time in the day to do that, but we're making time and who knows, it might continue and we just have extra clean spaces, but so, Tika is taking care of all the bathrooms and then, some of the hallway work, not every day, and then, garbages, so she's taking out the hallway garbages. And she's able to do all of that in about 2 hours. And then we're all kind of taking turns doing the gym floor and squeaking it in between lunch and PE and all the things. So we're making it work. Again, proud of this team for all stepping up, and I've heard 0 grumbles. I know it's taxing and extra, but it kind of is what it is. Even if we have someone apply, we won't have their background check. And
Why are
that's-
backgrounds taking so long?
well, so every school in the state adopted the language we did in our policy to have their background checks for everyone going on field trips. So not only Flag County has been inundated, but the entire state, who all of our counties send fingerprints.
I was gonna say, cause I was backgrounded for something completely different like 5 months ago and it went through in like 2 days.
Gotcha.
So I was just wondering why, like, what's the,
Mine
Yeah.
took 5 weeks, but that was during COVID.
oh, this was just earlier this year. I was backgrounded for something completely different. It's like. I got the approval. like
I have
right
so
away.
many jokes, but I'm just going to move on. And then I've gotten a couple community member feedback emails about our reader board, asking if we can turn down the brightness or just the times. We can't actually adjust how bright it is, but we can adjust the time since it is getting darker, on either end of our school day. I really don't know why we would need it on from 6 AM to 9 PM, so just kind of shortening it to when you're driving your kid to school or possibly coming home from work or leaving a school event, so 7 to 7, and then just completely turned it off on the weekend. People that drive on that road do it daily and would see during the work week anyways, are my thoughts.
So just for some background for you, when. Cause this came up in the community on social media right after the board was installed. I don't know if you saw that or not, but. Overwhelmingly, the community loves the reader board. There was like 2 people who were like, well, I wasn't consulted.
Sure.
And a previous board member then said, well, we had several public meetings about this, so you could have come and voiced your opinion then. So it's literally probably like a 90-10 issue or even 95-5 issue
Yeah.
where people just love this board. But I mean, changing the times is not a big deal, like
Yeah,
it's being sensitive to
And I'm not,
Dark out here, so.
As long as we keep in mind that the goal of the reader board was communication with the community.
correct.
So as long as we're saying, we're gonna get you coming and going Monday through Friday, I'm fine with it. If we start hearing rumblings like, I don't know what's going on at the school again, the thing's going back on 24 hours, a day, 7 days a week at a maximum brightness, and I will stand by me. That was the whole point of doing the thing.
Yeah.
My question on the board, because I really like it, for the one time a week I drive past. And my kids drive by every day and that's how they learn stuff.
Yeah.
But by the time I can see it, it stays on that one screen so long, I'm past it before it changes to the next screen.
Oh,
So is the time the message is on there, can that be shortened so I can see more messages as I drive by?
You should be driving slower.
You're assuming it was my driving speed and not my vision. Big assumption.
Well, Nick said it, not me, and I'm just kidding. But, we can, so I actually have the slides, so I've gotten the opposite feedback, is that it's moving too quickly. And I don't have time to read anything. I know there's 7 screens and I've read a quarter of all of them by the time I drive by. So we're at a little bit of a happy medium right now. But it's just a work in progress, so any feedback is appreciated, but I also don't take 2 comments from the public and change how we're running the school. I do, when I hear public comments, you actually just pause and think about what is the purpose of the reader board?
Right.
What do we actually need? And that's kind of the happy medium that I found for that as well, so.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just take Sunday off, if people say, well, on my Saturday drive to Rotary basketball is when I got all my Kyla news, but I have heard good feedback as well, and it is appreciated by most, especially about picture day, so,
Yeah,
That's how I found out today.
okay, well
right
done.
now, Jojo.
I'm on Dojo, but I don't get all the messages and then it logs
Yeah, I
me
know,
out and I'm
yeah.
working. My hands are in
You just do it
time
yourself.
order and I can't.
Oh, man.
No.
It's a pain in the butt.
All right, and then, so grant applications, so our 3 right now from OPI. Our IDEA consolidated application has been submitted, our gifted and talented application has been submitted, and then our ESEA consolidated has been approved. We actually received our AED, our portable AED today, and then I don't know how they sent it to us without us paying for it. Sharon works her own magic.
Good
But-
job, Sharon.
We actually need we've paid for it bill before we can submit that grant reimbursement. It is just $700. And the AED was $1,800. So we're gonna shoot for it. We have to have that turned in by the 17th in order to get approved for that, but irregardless, we have a portable AED that makes me feel pretty awesome,
Yeah.
so.
Question, I don't know what ESEA stands for.
So that's our now that you're asking me that,
Sorry, something about kids succeeding, cause
Yes.
that's
Family
That's good.
student.
Title.
title, that's good. I'm good with that.
so basically we have our SPED application.
I knew, yeah,
Yes.
I was just like, that's fine.
Sorry, I'm not back into the acronyms, you kind of just shuffle them away.
Yeah.
I know it's important.
It's okay, as long as it's like, title, I'm good.
So we just had walk to school day, that was yesterday nope, that was, what day is it?
Days.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah.
Today. We started our day with walk to school day. It seems like a pretty silly day, but it is really fun to just go out for a little walk. We actually had our cougars with their cougar buddies, and it is just a walk today. So you can see our 6th grade and kinder buddies there. And then this little picture down here is actually, we had groups go to the left and right, and it was kind of a neat Halloweeny morning.
It was a
which kind of
beautiful
fun.
morning.
It was
I have
fun.
pictures from my dad. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
it was Same.
And then we had, I have that written down somewhere too. We had Terrell Excavation donate all the donuts. And then Miss Mindy and Miss Carrie had hot chocolate for everybody too, so we actually had 22 family members join. We had lots of little, push wagons for kiddos, and it was pretty fun. So, oh, all train, I knew I wrote it down somewhere, it's on there, full presentation. It's been a long day.
You're doing great.
All right, here we go. September events, so these are the past, I wrote September events, but then realized it would be September/October. So we've done our middle school fall hike swim, that was a really successful day, it was a great day. Where they could hike and it was kind of cooler in the morning and then it was really hot in the afternoon. We did do our Citizenship Day, Freedom Week, all those things were just incorporated in. We did have our first full school assembly and our student leadership team took part of that. Remember, we're transitioning into them, hopefully just running a little bit more like we have them showing up now here. American Indian Heritage Day was run by Miss Tika and it was amazing. The student leadership team also ran that in each of the classrooms and helped the littles with their projects and also gave presentations on why our Native American history is the way it is, or what these are for. It's not just let's make cute corn husks and for a craft. It was actually kind of the why behind the importance, which was meaningful. Our second grade went to their Flathead Biological Center field trip out in Yellow Bay, and we had background checks, people to join that. And then we've also done picture day, all just in the month of September and a little bit of October.
Question? Citizenship Day and Freedom Week are the ones that are required by law.
Correct.
So I make sure that we're noting for the camera that we are.
Also, but, so I just thought you guys might want to see some of these. So, here's our second grade, going to their trip, our middle school fall hike.
Swim.
It looks like a dangerous cliff. They're not actually hanging off of a cliff. And then here's our student leadership team. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor, sorry. Our student leadership team presented on, the why behind the walking on the blacktop during our transition time. So when you have 60 kids all running to go get in line, we had our older students explain the why behind asking to walk rather than the adults. And that is turning the corner. Top middle then is our student leadership team, in our first grade room. They were learning about, the why of the prints on teepees, what they signify, and then each kid got to make their own printed teepee and construct that. And then we had an outdoor PE activity along with our archery that we usually do for our middle school. So, just some updates there. Were any of you able to join? Any of those? So upcoming opportunities for you. This Friday is already the midterm of trimester 1, so it's crazy to think that our school year is the 6th over. We don't have school because of the statewide MEA, Montana Educator Association, PIR days. And then on the 24th from 6 to 8 is our fall carnival. So hopefully you guys can make it to that. That would be a really fun one. We have Red Ribbon Week at the end of this week. We'll have a Spirit Day in the middle of that week to wear red, and that's when we take that school photo. We always enter the photo contest for. And then into November, we do not have school on the 7th because that is our parent teacher conference day. And many of our classes are gonna start moving towards student-led conferences. Kind of a hybrid between just a student-led conference, but also student-led with some meeting time for parents. So lots come to hear how the teacher feels or collaborate on that. And hear what their kids are doing, not just hear what their kids are doing. So kind of hybriding that. We have Kinder First going to the pumpkin patch at the end of this month. And then next week is First and Second are going to the VOAG Center for Heritage Days, and those are all fun. Messages have gone out to parents about their background checks for all of those, and we've had quite a few parents go to get their background checks. Most will not be back by the VOAG Heritage Days, but hopefully we'll have quite a few for the pumpkin patch. I don't know though, so we will, only time will tell.
My daughter's super excited about the pumpkin patch.
That's it.
Great. Good. It's really cute. Curious. Picture for something.
I'll try and include those.
Yeah, thank you for the pictures. That's always more fun to
Yeah.
see their little heads.
Yeah.
All right, we are moving on to the WCRRP audit.
So, WCRRP stands for our workers' comp. And so our workers' comp company, who's through MTSBA, hires an independent contractor to come in and audit our books and stuff. And so we got a perfect audit. There were no findings.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest, I lose my patience with all the audits we've had, title audit, regular audit, workers' comp audit. But in lieu of news reports, I'll take every audit I can get. I'm gonna put it out there. So yeah, just audit away, I'll give you what you need.
It says, great job, Sharon, no variances, thank you very much, exclamation mark. And then there's just an FYI in here about, the fire inspection.
Mhm.
All right. And the date for our November meeting.
The 12th?
Already. So as per usual, they're always the second Wednesday of the month at 3:30, so this one's November 12th at 3:30. And I will ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Why don't you make a motion?
I will motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't like changing.
Oh, man. This is gonna be good. It's kind of